Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Then will appear a big sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Now, learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as the twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Greeting, guys. It is me here with a message of the kingdom of heaven. Oh, guys, I'm listening to my Lord here in the word. And, sometimes, guys, I ask myself, if you come up with the exact opposite of what Jesus has said, yet you are carrying the word, how do you do it? Do you do it by magic? Is there someone sprinkling maybe something from the sky, like a spirit sprinkling something for you to just say or do the exact opposite? The reason I'm saying this, guys, the people of Israel, and there were a number of times where I've spoken ill of them because they are still waiting for the first coming of the Messiah. And because of that, guys, I spoke ill of them because to me it didn't make sense. Now, I will make you understand why I speak ill of them. You see, take for instance James. James, who was also the disciple of Jesus, was actually the cousin, so they say, the cousin of Jesus, whether he was a brother or a cousin, this means that James looked first at Jesus as an older brother, or looked at Jesus as an older cousin, you understand? But when Jesus started coming out and saying that he is the Son of God, he is the Messiah and everything, for James, there should have been a shift, you understand? We expect a shift, to take place, with James because of that. Now, what will James do in order to not be left behind, you understand, by the Messiah? Because you see, guys, Satan is very cunning, very crafty, so he can claim to be the Messiah. I need you guys to understand that. So Satan can claim to be the Messiah. So for people to come up and say, I'm the Messiah, you understand? And then people respond by saying, no, we don't believe you. So obviously, I do get, I do also understand, how people, would have reacted when Jesus said those words, you understand? So I do understand, but let's take James for now. James, the cousin or the brother of Jesus, So what do you do when you are waiting for a Messiah and he has to be born, in your nation, you understand? And then your older cousin or your older brother pops up and says, I'm the Messiah, you understand? So what do you do in order to not be left out? Well, I would, if Daddy doesn't reveal that, okay, this is the Messiah, what I will do is I will go to my older brother or older cousin and I will say, you know what, I don't want to be left behind. If you are the Messiah, I do want to worship you exactly, for who you are, you understand? And I'm not necessarily familiar or very good with understanding the scriptures, you understand? So can you go with me through scriptures that speaks of you, as you say that the Old Testament was written about you, you say that Moses spoke about you. Can you go through such with me so that I can see, so that when even you preaching and compare with these scriptures, I can see that, oh well, yeah, I can see that, you know what I mean? So guys, it's things like that, I don't think Jesus, if someone from Israel had done that, I don't think Jesus would have rejected to help the person, because Jesus wanted to make sure that people believe it was for people, not for him. You understand? So I do think that if someone had done that, Jesus would have helped the person. You understand? So I'm just saying, you understand? So I'm looking at the people of Israel rejecting Jesus, particularly the leaders of Israel, the people who could go to registry and find out, about the origin of Jesus. You understand? Because they quickly, guys, just cut him off. Understand? In their minds, it's like they cut him off, and they were like, no, a Messiah will not come from Galilee. You understand? And when you read the word, you do find that the Messiah doesn't come from Galilee. You understand? So they were not wrong. They were not wrong, guys, in saying that, but as people who had authority, they could have gone to registry and find out if Jesus' family, meaning Mary and Joseph, had been living somewhere before coming to Galilee. You understand? Because if they had done that, they would have taken things from there. Because if you go to history, you'll find that when Jesus was born, Herod found out that the king is about to be born. So because he was threatened, thinking that Jesus was actually the physical king of Israel, so he was threatened. So he sent people to go and kill all the male children. You understand? So because of that, Mary and Joseph, they revealed it in a revelation that no, Herod is trying to do this. So get out of Bethlehem and go. And they left and went to Egypt. You understand? So they went to Egypt and they lived there, for a period of time, So after some time, Daddy revealed, after everything had happened, so he revealed that Herod was now no more. He was dead. You understand? So they can come back now. So upon arriving back, John was still scared. So he didn't go back to Bethlehem. So he went to Nazareth. You understand? That's why Jesus was called the Nazarene. You understand? So history like that, guys, you understand? So if you had the authority, if you have the authority, you have the authority, guys, to even go and open books and find out, the origin of this person who's claiming this. Because see, guys, they were expecting for the Messiah to be born from their nation. You understand? Jesus was going to be put from their nation because of Abraham. You understand? So obviously they were expecting for guys, they were actually expecting him. You understand? They were waiting for him. You understand? And I do understand that it would be easy for people to claim, oh, I am the Messiah, I am the Messiah. But if you have the authority, you have the power to go to the registry and find out the history, where he's coming from. You understand? So if they had done that, that would have been fine. So there was a time where some Pharisees came to Jesus and they asked him to show them a sign that he was a Messiah. And Jesus says, you will get a sign. Believe that. First of all, he showed after he whipped those hypocrites of his time selling in churches, claiming to be raising funds for God. So he said, you destroy this temple and I will build it again in 3 days. You understand? He was telling them that I am the Messiah. They didn't get that, and Jesus did not explain. So this time around, more hypocrites came. The Pharisees, they came and said, show us a sign. And Jesus said, I definitely will show you the sign. The son, he actually spoke about Jonah, when Jonah was in 3 days and in 3 nights in the heart of the earth, meaning hell, he went down there, in the belly of a huge fish, So Jesus spoke to them. Jesus was actually speaking about his 3 days, in the tomb and everything, and coming back and stuff and what, So he doesn't explain much, but that's what he gives them. Whenever they asked such things, Jesus gave them that, you understand? So they never really also understood that. Why am I saying this, guys? Is because nowadays we've got the same problem. same problem. But before I get to that, let me finish, with the people of Israel, because I've been speaking ill, and to a certain extent, I do understand why maybe they rejected, but there were things they could have done in order to find out if this was true. You understand? Because Jesus says that when it's going to rain, when it's going to thunder, when it's going to be sunny, because you look at the sky and you can determine, do you understand, the weather. But you are not able to tell the signs of the times. You understand? Jesus was telling them that you can't even see that I am here. You can't even see that I am here. And I'm not even hiding it to you that I am here. But at the same time, I do get. I don't know, guys, if what I'm trying to say you understand. Because I was speaking ill of the Israelites because of rejecting Jesus. Because they are still waiting for the first Messiah. You understand? It just baffles my mind. But to a certain extent, I do understand, but not completely, because there were things that they could have done since they had the powers to go to registry and find out. You understand? Because to them it's like, no, a Messiah is not gonna come from Galilee. And the thing I realized about them, when you go to history and find about them, when you read the word, you find jealousy. I don't usually use the word jealousy a lot. It's not a word that I'm used to. I'm not even used to such things, But I look at them, it's like, why these people rejected Jesus? So to me, it's jealousy because they were losing followers. That's what was happening. That's what I think. Because when you read about them, it's like they are complaining that everyone is now following Jesus, So they were losing followers. That's what was the problem. That was the biggest problem they faced, So now, guys, the reason I'm saying this is because Jesus, I quoted from this was taken from the Gospel of Matthew 24. So as I said, in verse 29, it says, immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. You understand? So Jesus is giving us the you understand? It's you understand? Prelude, you understand? Of his arrival, prelude of his arrival. I call it that, you understand? Because he's telling us, before I come, this is what is going to happen, So he's telling us A, B, C, and D is going to happen. Expect this to happen, Like he's telling us that many people will come and claim to be Christ, and that is what I want to talk about, because we've heard, guys, a lot of nonsense is coming forward saying that they are the Christ, and I sit and I'm like, where does this nonsense come from, And especially if you watch YouTube, I watch YouTube a lot, guys, because sometimes I watch movies, from YouTube, and listen to songs from YouTube, So you see, these people as well, saying that they are the Christ, and I sit and I'm like, where does this nonsense come from? The biggest problem with such nonsense is coming forward claiming to be Jesus is that they did not read what Jesus said will happen when he comes. If they had done that, no one, guys, will claim to be Jesus. Believe me when I tell you. You see, guys, people don't read the word. You see, I always tell you that you must always read the word. Focus on the word. You'll never go wrong. People go wrong because they run away from the word and say things that pleases them instead of what the word says. If you will stick to the word, you'll never go wrong, because the word will give you exactly what Jesus said. You understand? Guys, let me stop here and finish, this thing, because it's very important, because I want to tell you what this nonsense is coming forward claiming to be Jesus forgot to realize about what Jesus said. Until next, guys.